Hey, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build a trading bot for Femex that will trade crypto 24/7, 365. And I'm actually going to try to mimic a futures contract. And what I mean by that is essentially futures use about 8x leverage, maybe 10x sometimes. But I want to go ahead and build this out for BTC. And since, ES1, if you're familiar with futures, or the QQQ, which is pretty tech heavy, they kind of move very closely with Bitcoin. And I use interactive brokers for futures trading, but I tend to use Femex for crypto trading. And me personally, I'm much better at using the Femex API and CCXT to trade. So I thought, hey, why not just kind of mimic a futures contract with Femex? So let's go ahead and build that out. And if you're new to Python, don't worry about it. It's just, it's just English, and I'm going to walk you through everything here in this video. So what I'm going to do here is actually pull in, here we have our Python up here. I'm going to pull in some information that will allow me to connect to the exchange. And then let's dive into the actual code. Okay, so let's close that now. So you can see I do all my imports, import CCXT, JSON, pandas is PD, NumPy is NP. This is my configuration file that I obviously cannot share on screen, but then I need to make a couple changes here. Actually, that should be fine. And let's keep it moving. So the symbol we want to trade is going to be UBTC USD. So that's the first thing you have to declare. And for Femex, that is this symbol right here. So if we go over here and we say BTC USD, they actually have two different Bitcoin contracts. And one is Bitcoin based and the other is USD based. And I prefer the USD based just for accounting reasons. You could do either. The other one is BTC USD instead of UBTC USD, as you can see here. So now, after we do that, we want to go ahead and say what size we want. I'm just going to do one contract size for now. And we might want a max loss here. Let's do a max loss equals minus 8%. And let's say our target is 9%. So equals 9%. And we'll probably be using a little bit of leverage here. But, well, we absolutely will actually, because I'm trying to mimic. So let me write that actually at the top. I'm trying to mimic a futures contract. Mimic Femex bot that mimics a futures contract. AKA it's about 8x leverage. That's how we're gonna mimic it, right? So now we wanna say our target is 9%, our max loss is 8%. We wanna import some params. These params are really neat because they allow you to only put in orders if it's going to be a maker order instead of a taker order. So the difference there is a taker order you have to pay more for, and a maker order on Femex you actually get paid, which is cool. Now we want to go ahead and say, let's say params 2 here because I want to set my leverage. Let's say type will be swap, and then code equals USD, and then this is where I'm going to set my leverage here. I might actually also set it elsewhere, but let's just set it there for now. So I've got params and params 2. Now we want to go ahead and say maybe an input. Let's make size equals input. What size, what should we call this? What would you like the size to be? We could do something like that. So this would allow us to say, hey, we want our size to be whatever we want it to be. Right now I have it as 1, but we might use that. So I'll put size 2 here. I might just go ahead and use it up here, but I just want to give you a couple options depending on how you want to run this. Like sometimes some people want in the terminal to pop out and say, hey, what size of position do you want? Or what symbol do you want? That's helpful, but for the most part, I trade BTC, USD, and I can change that here. So I'll just set that as size 2 for now. Now, we probably want to get the ask and the bid. We absolutely do, actually. So I want to go say ask bid, and this is going to get the current ask and bid. So this is like the most accurate price data, right? So let's say order book equals fetch order book, and then it will be for that symbol that we declared earlier. And then the bid equals the order book, and we just tap into the order book and say bid 0 at 0, and then the ask will be similar to the above. We'd say asks, and it would be 0, 0. And then what I want to do is I just want to return those two values because we want to use them later. So ask and bid. So now we have the most recent ask and bid, and let's just go ahead and do a little stress test here. Let's say print ask bid, and let's see what happens there. What would you like the size to be? I guess we'll just put in 1 for now. Okay, so this is the ask and this is the bid. Perfect. I might just mark that out for now because I'm not going to use it, but I thought you might want to use that. So let's go ahead and keep on moving. So once we have the ask and the bid, we want to set up the orders, right? And we may want to set up a kill switch as well. I'm trying to think if we want to do that here. Do we want to make a kill switch or not? I have a bunch of videos going over kill switches, and this will pretty much take you out of the market at your target size. So what I might do here is I'm going to go look at my nice functions file. I have this nice function file, and by the way, all this code you can have access to. It's scattered around my YouTube channel, but if you want just like the code straight up, you can just join the bootcamp. There's a link for that below. Let's go ahead and see here. How are we going to get the open positions? So we have this nice functions file, and we also have this nice functions2 file, and both of these are available in the bootcamp, of course. So if I'm flying through this, I'm sorry, but it's all there for you. And we have open positions here, and let's go ahead and say, let's call in those open positions. Get rid of some of these. You can see I have a ton of bots I've been building here on this channel. Everything you see here on the left side is actually available somewhere on the channel. So what did I name that? Femex bot. Okay, let's just open it to the side so we have access to both of them. And if I go ahead and say, hey, let's import nice funcs 2 as n2, and let's see if we have any open positions. Let's say n2 dot open positions, and what does it ask for? It asks for the symbol. Okay, let's say that, and let's see what happens if we run this. Nothing. And why did nothing happen? I think it's because we have no print statements. If we look at open positions here, just so you can see all the code, we don't have any print statements there. So what I could say is open position info equals that, and I'd say print open position info, and let's see what happens there. Okay, so you can see this is the info we get. It gives us all of the stuff we need, like the symbol and the index position. which is super important. This is a little off-centered, so it looks a little weird, but this is all the information we need, and we can see that it returns these two things. So open positions actually returns these two things like that. So it gives us the symbol list and so on. And now we can actually do something similar. Let's see if we have a P&L close, P&L close. And you can see here in nice functions too, we can say P&L close. And anytime we want to close a position, if we want to close a position, just call N2 P&L close like that. And I'm going to mark that out for now. But essentially what I want to do is I want to build something that loops forever, and it's always looking at our open positions. So we want to go ahead and actually make the buys, and that's pretty easy to do. So I'll just walk you through that. So let's go ahead and say def bot. Let's make this into a bot. And the first thing we want to do is we want to check our P&L close. Our P&L close essentially looks to see, hey, have we hit our target or our max loss yet? Either way, we want to exit. If it's hit our max loss, we're down. If it's hit our target, we're up. But either way, we want to close. So every time we run the bot, we want to do that. And then to actually make the orders, we have to say Femix dot, well, let's say this. If we want to make sure to say buy or sell, so let's say something like buy, sell equals input. Would you like to buy or sell? And then it'll say, hey, do you want to buy or sell? And we'll say like if buy sell equals, we'll just know to put in B or S. B or S. So buy means buy and S means sell. So let's down here, we'll say if buy sell equals B